What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So this is where we at here. Now, the thing of this is normally California, they always have like wildfires and stuff like that. Pretty much, once a year. Normally they happen in the most heated part of the year, which is probably like the late summertime and stuff like that. This is very wild for California to have a wildfire at this time of the year. And if you just go back, look in history, whenever wildfires kind of happened in California, it was like late summer and stuff like that. They would have a little wildfire somewhere out, but for California to actually be burning like this, to where there are a lot of home Malibu, Los Angeles, it's a lot of places that are, Hollywood, it's a lot of places that homes are getting burnt down and major infrastructure. And this is unusual here. This is unusual. Most times, like I said, California, if something is happening like that for wildfires, it's mainly like in the most like kind of wilderness area to a degree. That's what I've been seeing since I've been growing up, pretty much. And now that it's like this, so we're gonna dive off into this. We're gonna check this out, people. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
This was also another scene earlier. This is when a lot of people had nowhere to go. They abandoned their cars because the flames were fast approaching. As a result, LA City Fire, they had to come in because the road was completely blocked. They bulldozed all the cars off to the side to make that emergency route to clear it out. Eric Scott of LA.
Okay, this is the Pacific Palisades.
AFD and LAPD Chief Jim McDonald, they were asked about this situation. Here's what they had to say.
So questions about abandoned cars, that's a good question that has come up. Law enforcement assists us heavily with evacuation, but please remember it's an active incident. We don't have the answers to all of these questions. We will certainly look at that. That's very important. I don't know if police felt like they wanted to make a mention to evacuations. Okay.
Yeah, just on that question of evacuations, vehicles left on the roadway. If you have to leave a vehicle on the roadway, get it as far off the road as you can so that emergency vehicles can get by. The gist of moving them with bulldozers was an emergency situation. You got to get those fire resources through, and they do what they have to do to be able to facilitate that. So we're asking really for the cooperation and think a couple of steps ahead. It's not just your vehicle there, but then others line up behind you as well as they see what you're doing. And so I can't stress enough, please follow the evacuation orders. Do your best to be able to get out to safety. Bring the equipment you will need for the next couple of days with you, because as you've heard over and over again, this is not going to end very quickly.
But this is very, very, very dynamic. And you can just, by standing here, seeing us with the wind gusts and with the predictability of this wind's going to get worse tonight. So we want people to lean forward, ready, set, go, and be ready.
That was Chief Kristen Crowley.
Good Lord. Man, look at that right there. This is sad, bro. That's some mansion right there. Look how big the house, used to be. That's some mansion right there.
The Los Angeles Fire Department. Okay, so as we approach the top of the hour, a programming note. We've been on with fire coverage on Fox 11 since 10:30 in the morning. At the top of the hour, at 8 o'clock on Fox 11, we're going to go to our Fox primetime programming. But
okay, so yeah, we're about to keep going, and I got a couple of I have a actor and an actress that's going to speak on it. Actor Zachary Levi, and also Candace Cameron from Full House. If you know what I'm saying, y'all remember her from back in the day from Full House. We're going to go to Zachary Levi first, and we're going to see what he had to say. Excuse me, you guys. Listen, look, this is wild out here. California is going through some serious shit right now. Not only with the way they've been governed with Gavin Newsom, this shit here is wow. Jesus, man.
Actor Zachary Levi said Newsom is not doing his job, and he joins me now. All right, Zach, what's going on out there?
Hey, how you doing there? Listen, I wish I could explain it. I think the first thing I wanted to say, though, most importantly, is I think we should be holding every single person in Southern California, everybody affected by these fires, we should be holding them up in prayer, like just sending as much love and light and support as we can to everybody who's being affected right now. This is the most devastating fire in Los Angeles history. My family's from Ventura, California. I grew up there most of my life, and then I was in LA for 15 years. This is very personal. The Thomas Fire ravaged Ventura in 2017, and it was so gnarly, and they're still picking up the pieces from that fire. And so this is just, it's catastrophic. It's looking at the news. I'm in Austin, Texas, and I'm watching the news. It looks like I'm watching a post-apocalyptic war film. It's so sad. And ultimately why we've ended up in this place. I mean, I've been hearing you on your show leading into the segment. I mean, I think you're hitting a lot of it on the head. This is just incredible mismanagement, incredibly poor leadership. I would go so far as to say that it's criminally negligent, because, I mean, Gavin Newsom has been either the governor for 5 years or lieutenant governor prior to that for 8-9 years. Some of the worst fires we've ever had in California under that watch. He clearly knows that the biggest problem that we suffer in California are these fires. And by the way, the mudslides that follow. And for them to do essentially not just nothing, but worse than nothing when firefighter budgets are being cut, when they are specifically intentionally not doing the work that could be done to avoid these problems or to be able to effectively serve them when they are happening. We are losing, I mean, I think it's something like millions of acres of feet of water runoff from rain and snow every year in California. As you pointed out, I think the smelt have something to do with that. That's an acre foot of water, by the way, is about 330,000 gallons of water. And there's millions of those that are just rolling off into the ocean when they could be captured in cisterns. We'd have an ecosystem of hoses and safety measures that can keep all of these homes and people in these homes safe. And for some reason, they choose to do none of that. And
wow. So basically what he's saying, from my gather of knowledge, is excess water that's being actually escaped that they could capture and keep in maybe some type of they could keep in, some type of way, things like in store, basically, for when fires like this happen, they will have an excess of, water and stuff like that, they will be able to put out these fires before they actually creep up into these areas and stuff like that. Because California, like I said earlier, like California always gets wildfires every year. And, you would think that they would be, all those, basically all those billions of dollars that California is worth. You would think that they would have the money to basically, get the infrastructure to have the ability to store water, even if it's just fucking seawater or something like that, to put out fires with. Like, come on now, Jesus Christ, man, this is wild.
And at some point, it goes beyond just whoopsie. At some point, it goes beyond negligence. There's something that's almost criminally intentional about this. Like, what are they doing? I don't know.
So you mentioned criminal intent and you mentioned criminal negligence, because California can build anything. I mean, look at Silicon Valley, look at Hollywood. If they want to do something, California can do it. But you haven't built a single reservoir in 10 years? You're just letting water run into the Pacific? Because of what? A fish that no one's heard of? Does anybody care about the smelt fish?
What?
I mean, listen, I think that both can be true. I think we can care about the smelt fish and we can care about our environment and also be able to value human life and the wonderful cities and civilizations that we have built and find some kind of a balance in all of that. Even still with the smelts, there's no reason why we couldn't have safeguards to prevent what is going on right now. This is just, it's absurd. But I would say at the end of the day, like I said, I don't know if there's criminal intent. I have no idea why they are doing or not doing the things that they are doing, but they must be held responsible. This is not good leadership. I mean, listen, this is the man who, in the middle of the pandemic, when people were being locked up for going and gathering together, he was at French Laundry having dinner with his friends. What does that say about the character of this man who is doing nothing to help the people of California? I don't believe that he is. I don't believe that he is. And so I think that there needs to be some kind of accountability that's held to the leadership, not just of California, but also of our nation. I mean, listen, there are people still in eastern North Carolina that are still climbing out of the rubble of the hurricane that totally ravaged all of them in Florida and North Carolina and South Carolina.
Now, I could definitely agree with that, though. I brought that up in one of my other broadcasts a while back, that we still haven't handled that situation because FEMA didn't have no money at that particular time, or they claimed that they didn't. And, they was like, listen, look, we don't have the funds to handle this situation and stuff. And then of course, we had those hurricanes and stuff like that back to back, which was crazy. And yeah, FEMA talking about they didn't have any money. It's like, okay, where all the money went to? Allegedly, it went to all the damn, immigrants and stuff like the illegals and shit that was coming over here getting all them damn free cars and stuff.
That's still happening, and FEMA completely dropping the ball there. What's going to happen now with Southern California? Is FEMA going to be there? By the way, one of the things that is almost most criminal in all of this, I don't know if you know this, but 70% or so of the insured in Southern California that used to have fire insurance in their home months ago, this insurance was taken away. The insurance company said, no, we're not going to offer fire insurance anymore. What else do they need? They don't need flood insurance. They need fire insurance. This is a fire hazard. Of course, that's the insurance that they need and that they want. And just months ago, this was stripped from people. This is not.
Damn, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. So he said just a few months back, they took away the fire insurance, knowing that California catches fires every year. So you mean to tell me these people are paying? And see, this is where we at here in America. And damn it, I'ma say it. This is where we at. We pay these insurance companies and stuff like that. And I mean, it just is what it is. Now, I don't want anybody to get hurt. Don't get me wrong, because I know what just happened with the previous situation with the dude, the health insurance situation. Listen, look, I'm not for anybody getting hurt. That's not how you change things. Okay, that's not how you change shit. But you know what I'm saying? For the insurance companies to be taking people's money all year and things like that, and when a tragedy happens, now all of a sudden, oh, well, we don't have the money to pay you, or we're gonna restrict your policy and this and that. Bitch, you've been taking my money all year, or maybe 2-3 years, and now I got a tragedy, and it's like, you can't help me, but you've been taking my money for 3 years. I mean, I get why people are upset, but doing egregious stuff is not going to work. That's not how you change the system. Okay. I'm telling you, that is not going to work.
Not okay. It is not okay in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm hearing that State Farm yanked their coverage because the regulators in California wouldn't let them raise rates. So now millions of people don't have fire insurance, and they've lost their homes and have nothing. And you're right. You mentioned North Carolina. Remember the Maui fires? Still devastation.
Yeah, Lahaina.
And they were staying in fire.
I mean, but listen, look, to speak about the raising of rates, that is going to affect every other American in the society. And now this is how it works. If they have to raise rates, they're going to raise rates on everybody. That's like, let's just take State Farm, period. You know what I'm saying? If they have to raise rates, then they're going to raise rates on everybody that has a policy with them. No matter whether you live in California or not, they're going to hike the rates up some way, shape, form, or fashion to pay for to compensate them on whatever's going on. Listen, look, man, it just is what it is out here. These major corporations are not going to take L's. And I get it. And, it's a part of the problem as well, is because we pay the insurance people to insure us when tragedy strikes and we need that help at that moment. That's the whole purpose of having insurance. on our things and cars and homes and businesses and stuff like that. That's the whole purpose of having insurance. But when tragedy strikes, most of these companies, of course, in some cases, they're not gonna want to pay out. They're not gonna want to take these L's and stuff like that. These are corporations that are ran a certain type of way, and these people have yachts and shit that they're still going to buy in Monaco out here. I mean, I'm just being honest.
5-star luxury resorts FEMA was. So we expect more, we expect better, we expect dignity and competence in the United States of America. That's not too much to ask.
No,
I know there's been a
but
recall in California, but there might have to be something else to hold Gavin Newsom accountable. A trial, a public humiliation, because if this isn't enough to step down as governor, if you have a little honor, I think that's what it calls for. Zach, great talking to you.
Listen, man, you as well.
Appreciate it.
all right, so you know what I'm saying, they chilling out there. We're about to keep diving, people, because we're about to get to Candace from Full House, and she has something to say. If y'all remember Candace Carmen from Full House and things like that. This is wild out here. This is wild. California, man, I don't know what's going on out there with the government there, things like that. This is crazy. The property out there is it's in the billions of dollars worth of property and stuff like that. These are $1 million homes that are on fire, and businesses as well. This is crazy.
I'm going to go to Candace Cameron
Candace
Bure.
Cameron,
She is an actress. She's joining us now. You probably know her as DJ Tanner from Full House. She spent decades living in the Palisades and has been sharing some devastating photos from California. She's on the ground and is calling for prayers from all of her many, many followers. Candace, thanks for joining us. What's this been like to see the home that you lived in for so many years, where your kids grew up and went to school, literally reduced to nothing?
Yeah, it's been really hard, very emotional. We moved out of the Palisades last year, but we've lived there for 30 years. And we raised our kids there. We went to church there. They went to Pali High, and it's gone. It's rubble. Our community is still very much there because we were there for so long. I've been talking to my neighbors, our friends, my children, their friends. We have so many people that have lost their homes. It's really devastating to see the footage. And you know, we very much feel helpless on the sidelines, especially because the fire is still raging and not slowing down.
Yeah, that's the most alarming part of this. And we heard in a news conference today from fire officials that they were not prepared for a fire like this, for winds this strong. Our reporter, Nancy Liu, reported the winds have died down a little bit. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yes, but they continue to gust. And as far as the weather report, it says it's not really dying down significantly until tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. So we're all still preparing for the worst, where our doors are open and we are, welcoming our friends, our family, our community in whatever way we can be helpful. But it is utterly devastating. It really is, to see so many great memories and homes and families and small businesses lose their livelihood.
Where are is everybody from the Palisades going? I know there was a community center that was open as a shelter. Are people going to other friends and neighbors?
Yeah, a lot of people are, in the Santa Monica area, all over within Los Angeles County. People have lots of friends, and so everyone's going to different homes. But there are churches that are open. There's community centers, and it's being posted on our local news everywhere. And social media has been a really wonderful tool, because this community really rallies together. That's why it's such a special place, especially in the pocket of Los Angeles. The Palisades means so much to families, and within that community, we help, we rally, we genuinely like each other and love each other. And that's going to be the beautiful thing to see in days and weeks and months and years to come, is how this community is going to pull together and support one another.
But Candace, when we look at these images from the Palisades, we are talking about rebuilding from nothing.
I know. And the crazy thing
At this point, I don't know if they could. You got to think about how long it's going to take for those fires to really go all the way out enough to even rebuild something. And then, like I said before, California is known to have at least, a wildfire once a year. And this is where we at with this. This is wild right here, but this is a huge wildfire right now in California. I've never seen California on fire like this since I've been alive. And I'm 41. I've never seen this big. I'm talking about like areas, super acres, different, I guess you would say different counties and stuff like that. The Palisades, Malibu. Jesus, man. California is seriously on fire right now. This is, man, oh my goodness, man. The prayers go out to everybody out there. Because this is, man, Jesus, man. This is a complete destruction of California.
keep thinking about is that the fire insurance here, there are many homes and businesses that don't even have it because the claims have been denied for fire insurance because it's such a high highly destructive place in that way. And so I don't even know the realities of rebuilding for a lot of people if they don't have fire insurance and what that's going to look like. So it is quite devastating.
Where are you right now? And I mean, I'm looking out the window over your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a sunny day. And I've heard some people say, like in some parts of LA, it feels like a normal, beautiful Southern California day. And then you'll go 2 blocks and be engulfed in this thick smoke.
Yeah. Well, right over my shoulder, I mean, you can see that the mountain is on fire. And I'm in the Century City area right now. So I've been watching for the last 24 hours, the city just burn. And you see at times where the flames are really, really large. And then it will die a little bit and then come back and come forward. But it really feels like hell on earth. I'm going to be honest with you, to see the destruction and the flames and everything burning. It's just been horrific.
Yeah. The images are horrific. The stories are horrific. Candace, Cameron Bure, thank you so much for joining us to describe.
All right, man, Jesus, bro. Good God, man. Hold on. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy, man. Listen, look, man, all my prayers definitely go out to everybody in California right now. You know, man, get out if you can, definitely. Oh, Jesus, man. This is wild right here. I don't know what's going on in California here, but I definitely know that the government situation dealing with Gavin, you know, he ain't doing shit for California, period. And excuse me. And the sad part about it is they're trying to linger around like Gavin need to be running for somebody's president at some point. It's like, no, nobody wants that crap. Nobody wants that dude. California don't even want that dude no more. But you know, listen, look, man, hopefully things do get better. But right now, California is lit. And it's a sad situation, bro. It's a sad situation. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.